Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Marriage Matters with Ken and Shar. I'm Ken, and just as a reminder, Shar's not with me right now. We are taking a little bit of time away from the mics over the summer to enjoy a little R&R, which gives us a great opportunity to play a little bit of best of. So what you're going to be listening to in this episode is part 2 of one of our favorite series titled Two is Better Than One, comes from Ecclesiastes chapter 4. And this will be part 2 of that series. And it's always been one of our favorites. It just talks about what a blessing marriage is designed to be to us from the Father who designed marriage. And we hope that it encourages you and inspires you to continue to press on and to make your marriage awesome, so that it might glorify the goodness of God who created it for his pleasure. So God bless you. Thank you so much for listening in. We hope you enjoy it. You're inspired by it. And until next time, he loves you guys so much. God bless you now. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Marriage Matters with Ken and Shar. Glad you're in with us. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing good today.
Really good? You being true here?
Oh, no, I am doing good.
It's an awesome day, isn't it?
Just got over a cold and feeling like almost 100%.
Good.
Glad about that.
We're glad to be sharing these truths about marriage with everyone, and we love what we do, yeah?
We do.
I know.
Really do love it.
All right. We are today in part 2 of a topic or a series that we call Two Are Better Than One. It comes directly from the scriptures in Ecclesiastes chapter 4. And we said, as we said last episode, that these verses really became the foundation of kind of why we began to do what we do when we jumped into this. So let me just read the passage it comes from just to get familiar with it again. The writer of Ecclesiastes says in chapter 4, verse 7, I returned, I saw the vanity under the sun. There's one who is alone without companion, neither brother or son, and he has no end to all of his labors, and his eye is satisfied with riches, but he never asks himself, for whom do I toil and deprive myself of good? This also is vanity and a grave misfortune. And then he comes in with this, two are better than one. And this shouldn't surprise any of us. In Genesis chapter 2, again, the Bible says that it's not good that man should be alone. So it goes on, it says, why? Why is two better than one? Because they have a good reward for their labor. We talked about the last episode. And today we're talking about really what is in verse 10 here. For if one falls, or if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up again.
I'm so glad I have someone to help lift me up when I fall, because it seems to happen a whole lot.
Yeah, falling is familiar territory.
It is.
For all of us, right?
Yep. You don't want to fall, but you do. You get tripped up sometimes.
It's true. Okay, so let's talk about falling. The bottom line is we fall for really one of 3 reasons that I could think of. I was thinking about it, reading this and getting ready for this episode, and I thought, why do people fall?
Usually the reason I fall is because I'm not looking down.
There you go.
And I trip.
We trip. That's
you
number one.
You don't do that a lot, but I actually trip and fall.
That's because I walk, I think, looking down.
You do.
My head
you walk
is down.
Looking down. I walk looking up. And it's funny because Kenny always, he knows that I trip a lot. And so when we're walking, he'll go, now watch out. There's a step coming up here. He knows I'm going to probably not see it.
It's true. It's true.
I go, no, I see it. But sometimes I don't. So it's nice to have him watching out for me.
So that's number one. We fall when, okay, here we go. Number one, when we aren't paying attention and we trip.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly right.
And we're going to tell you a story just from our life about that. But number 2, the reason we fall, we're just weak. Our legs can't. I remember with Charlene's dear mom, whom we loved and adored, was just a fantastic asset in my life. But towards the end of her life, trying to get up out of a chair as she got older, her legs just could not
support her.
Yeah, right. And we were always scared of a fall. She looked so unstable. So sometimes we fall as a result of just weakness, right? And then thirdly, people fall when they get literally knocked down by some outside or external force. They get knocked to the ground and fall to the ground. So let's talk about those three things. That's how falls take place. I remember, let's talk about when we're not paying attention and we trip. From my life, and this was so important to have for me to have, Charlene, and as you're listening, what this episode is all about really isn't about why your spouse falls.
Right.
Or diagnosing what happened to you, man. Here, I can tell you why you fell.
Or how stupid you are that you fell.
Right. It's, or criticizing why they fell or whatever. The high point here, the big idea here is that I am in Charlene's life. The reason 2 is better than 1 is because when she falls, I'm here in her life. And when I fall, she's in my life. You're probably married if you're listening to this. You have a wife or a husband. You exist in their life because they're going to fall. They're either going to not pay attention and trip on something. They're going to be knocked down by an outside force, or they're in a weakness. They're going to fall. Right. And those falls come in many ways, but you're there. They have you in their life. God has put you in their life to help them up.
And these falls aren't necessarily related to sin.
No, they can be.
Sometimes as a Christian, we think of, someone fell.
Right.
You think of them, they fell into sin.
Right.
These aren't what we're talking about.
No, these stories, they really aren't about that at all. So let's start with my story. I fell in my life as a result of simply not paying attention and tripped up, right? So this happened over time. It began early in my married life. I just wasn't watching the store closely. I am by nature a workaholic, particularly once I got in the ministry, which was young in my 20s, being dedicated to it, and as I should have been. But I didn't watch what it was doing necessarily over many years of overcommitment, too many hours at work, gone too much from the house. I didn't realize what it was doing to my wife. I just was not aware. I was not paying attention, where a number of times we would have really rough nights, tear-filled nights till really early in the morning, of her trying over and over again to explain to me that she feels unimportant to me.
Right.
Or less important, certainly, than the church and the people that I was serving, right?
Exactly. Kind of abandoned.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, but these other people really need my care. So you're going to be fine, but they really need me.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I really need you.
Yeah. This, it really came to a peak when we had a couple children. The church was busy and growing. I found myself pastoring in the middle of a growing time and busyness. And then I decided that I needed to finish my education. And I
kind of backwards on that one.
And I don't,
after 3 children,
I don't know what. I still to this day don't know what motivated me. I think insecurity about I don't have a degree. I don't have a degree in theology. I don't have a degree in Christian ministries or anything. Right?
And it was back in the day that you can't go to online school.
Yeah.
You have to leave the house.
Yeah.
On his very few nights off that he had, because he wasn't going to take off time out of work to go to school. And we had just had our 3rd baby. He was an infant. And I had 3 kids under 6 years old.
I was working all day.
And we had multiple groups in our home during the evenings.
And the nights that we weren't ministering in our home, I was taking
decided
night
to go
classes,
back to school,
which was getting me home around 10.
11 o'clock
the
at night.
junior college here in our city is across town. So I was getting home around 10 to 10:30 at night.
It was a very trying time.
It was, I look back now, and
he was gone all the time.
I just was not paying attention. I hate to admit it, but I was just that blind.
And
a
little
honest.
stubborn, because I said, why don't you just take 1 class? And I remember him looking at me saying, well, I might as well take no classes if I just take 1 class. It's just not even worth it. I'm going, wait a minute. If it's not working out that you take 2 classes, let's just take 1 class. We'll get there. And
now people are learning about my nature.
Absolutely no compromise. Why don't you come home from work a little bit early, because you're taking your class to further your degree and in your profession? I can't do that. So it was a hard, trying time in our marriage.
And honestly, Charlene's babe, your patience and continually speaking truth into my life. And I don't remember you ever judging me or criticizing me or
Well, yeah,
right.
I might have not been saying
You were
it.
just crying for help,
Right. I was
but
saying, "I can't
you
do
would
this."
speak to me about it,
Mhm.
and eventually I got it. Not that I was perfect I've always battled with kind of a workaholic mindset,
Mhm.
but Charlene helped me get up from that because
Mhm.
that was a failure. I was failing, not just
Mhm.
falling. I was failing at that point. I ended up eagerly quitting school and
Mhm.
carrying on, and at times would have to roll back still to this day, have to
Mhm.
roll back my schedule, but
Mhm.
to where my priorities are right. And this is
Mhm.
really what Charlene was teaching me the whole time was there's a certain order of
Mhm.
priority that's appropriate in a man's life and a woman's life. And my family and her particularly was not being held at a high enough priority. And for me, that was a failure.
Mhm.
So I just tripped. I wasn't aware. I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
And there was a failure in my life that my wife had to walk me through and help me. Again,
Mhm.
I don't remember ever you being, you were hurt, but
It's
not
very hurt.
angry or
Mhm.
accusatory
Very hurt.
towards me. People also fall when we're weak. And uh, here's another story about my life. And then the last one will kind of add a story about Charlene's life when it comes to being knocked down by some force. But sometimes our spouses don't fall because they're not paying attention and trip. They fall because of a weakness in their life or just being weak at a period of time in their life. And I've got this one particular arena of my life that has, from time to time, Charlene has had to really encourage me in and always has been able to do that and get me back on my feet about it, where I'm in full faith again. And that has to do with money.
Mhm.
It has to do with well, it's more complex than money. I get it's not just money. It's
Mm-mm.
particularly as we've gotten older, have I done enough
Mhm.
to take care of us? We are in our middle, heading into our late 60s, and we were a little bit late to the party thinking about the days when our earning days would be done and do we have enough? And man, there's been times where she would agree with me, right, babe, that I have just
Mhm.
felt like in a panic, like,
Mhm.
okay, what do I need to do? And wringing my hands and fretting about spending so I get tight.
I was driving with him one time, and I just for conversation, I said, "Hey, so what's your biggest fear?" I'm thinking he's gonna say losing me or one of the kids or, the grandbabies or something along those lines, because that's, of course, would be mine. And he said, "I think that my biggest fear would be not being able to take care of you,
It's true.
and 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 what a failure I would feel like." And I went, "Wow, that would never even cross my mind." And I
Yeah.
think that wouldn't cross my mind because I always know Kenny would take care of me no matter what. He's proven that over and over and over. He would do anything for me. And, he goes, "Just that I would not be able to provide for you."
Yeah. Or that
And
I dropped the ball. I
right,
just dropped the
yes.
ball on it,
And, I was really shocked by that
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
I was really shocked.
So for us, I can't tell you how many times
Mhm,
Shar has had to encourage me
mhm.
and pick me up and help me get some balance back and some faith back that, look,
Right.
the Lord loves us. He's going to take care of us. He
Yeah,
promises to. We just
exactly.
need to serve him with all of our heart and put that in his hands and do our best. But the Lord's not going to ever abandon his
It
people.
and it's nice when you're not weak and you both aren't weak in the same area.
Right,
That's not a weakness for me. Now I know my weaknesses,
right.
and I'm familiar, very
And
familiar.
honestly, money is not one of them.
No, it
She
isn't.
really has all the faith in the world when it comes to
It's just not
that.
one that I've had to ever deal with. So I always like to say that I like to make friends with my weaknesses.
Mm,
So I know where Satan comes to tempt me.
mm.
And it helps me to verbalize those,
It's a great
especially
point.
to my husband, because he's familiar with my weaknesses, probably even better than me, and he knows how to speak to that. And the same with Kenny, with this
Mhm,
one area that he has felt vulnerable in his whole life, or insecure in. I'm able to speak to that,
mm.
and I think it's neat when the Lord puts two people together
It's awesome.
that when they're not weak in the
Yeah.
same area.
That's just why he says two is better than one, because when I'm weak, and which leads to a fall,
Right.
right? When my faith is down crest, I'm not, I'm really struggling in faith when it comes to money. Charlene has always been the tool that God uses to
pick you back up,
bring me back to faith and encourage and strengthen me. And the reality is, again, what we're after here is everyone who's married listening, that you realize and own that you're in that person's life just for that time.
Yeah. Not to kick them while they're down.
Exactly.
And not to say, oh, again, you're going through this again.
Or just get it together.
Buck up, get your head, this is silly how you're thinking.
Yeah.
But to actually speak to that and to be the one that God uses to get faith back in their heart.
Right.
And I
get
love
back on their feet.
I love that. And I don't have to be embarrassed about telling you I'm weak here. And you go, that's okay.
No.
That's okay.
That's why I'm in your life.
Yeah. I can help you with that weakness.
That's how two is better than one, man.
It is.
I wrote down this paragraph just kind of getting ready for this episode. Reads like this. This passage, that Ecclesiastes 4 passage, reveals how we should operate when our spouse falls. We are to help them up. We don't abandon them. We don't accuse them. We don't humiliate or criticize them. We don't judge or scorch them with blame. We're not indifferent to them, nor do we ignore or overlook them, but we devote our strengths, our resources, and our gifts and capabilities to helping them get back up from their fall and to get on their feet. That's why we exist.
I think of treating you the way that I would want you to treat me in the same situation. And as we both have these areas that we are weak in, and we will fall, and our faith will become weak.
Right.
And we'll need that encouragement from each other.
This issue of weakness is interesting because this is where moral failures can happen, where they can occur where someone's faith is so weak. And this can, we've seen this test a marriage mightily when it's led to a lie, a deception, maybe even just the horrible wounds that can be caused by pornography or something where in weakness that sin was committed. And that's where a marriage really gets tested and a spouse gets tested that not that I should just endure it silently, but what is my role now to help that person whom I love get on their feet and get standing up again from this fall because they were weak.
And that's a sinful fall.
Right. And they're probably the hardest to
they're the
overcome
hardest,
and to deal with in
and
marriage.
To speak into.
Right.
And to come full circle with, because then you have to get into the area of repentance and forgiveness.
Yeah.
And depending on what it is, we
haven't yet had an episode where we deal directly with these moral failures that can assault a marriage. We will. But suffice it today to say they happen often because of weakness, not because a person's evil. If they know Christ, there's still weaknesses that prevail in people's lives. And this is where a marriage can really get tested. But for me, the weakness that came to mind when we began to talk about this was I have always battled maybe the fear of failure, the fear of poverty.
A lack of faith.
Yeah. And it's something that Charlene has had to really be patient with, but realize she's here in my life to keep me from staying down in that pit when I fall there and my faith is weak, right? So those are two. We fall when we're not paying attention and we trip. Think of your spouse, gang. Can you think of a time where he or she fell because they just weren't paying attention to something in their life and they got tripped up, right? Maybe there's a time where in weakness, there was a fall. They found themselves on the ground. This is where your role in their life was so important and will forever be important as long as you guys are married. And then there's this third issue where we fall down when we simply are knocked down by some outside force. In other words, something just steamrolls your life. It happens to you. You didn't cause it. It wasn't something you weren't aware of. And it came out of nowhere and slams your spouse to the ground. And Charlene, I'm gonna let you share your story. You've got some church hurt in your past
Yeah.
where it just out of nowhere you got so wounded and had to be helped up,
Yeah,
right?
it was devastating, and people that I thought were my friends and my and they were my oversight.
You should have been able to trust.
Totally, I did trust them, and to find out that they thought differently of me than I thought they did, and then what came out of it
Right.
was devastating. And because of who they were, and the things they said, and then the what happened afterwards.
Right.
I was working at the church at the time, and ended up not working there anymore, but still going and having to serve with these people whom I thought loved me and thought the best of me, to find out that they did not. And it was devastating to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It was.
I can't even.
It was one of the most hurtful chapters.
It was the most hurtful thing I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And I was tempted in a lot of areas to never even want to go back into ministry again because of it. I know many of you that are listening, if you've been
there's a lot
wounded
of church
in a
hurt
church,
out in the world.
it is. It slaps you around. It comes from out of nowhere. You have no clue that this would have happened to you,
right?
And especially by these people that did.
Right.
You had no clue.
And there's a challenge because if you're not careful, and no one's there to help you and speak hope and encouragement and truth into you, you can go in a dark place where you just hate the church. You
become very bitter.
Yeah.
And at that point, I consider this time that I was knocked down, really knocked down. And the Lord was gracious to me. He gave me a tremendous amount of faith over it. I just didn't know how to recover from it.
Well, and this is where I felt like I recovered quick. I understood it. I went through it with her, and I certainly could validate the wound that she incurred. But I knew my role in her life was to help her get back up on her feet. Right. She had fallen. She'd been knocked to the ground.
And most of the time, I remember this time so vividly, though it was many, many years ago.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
And I was in my 40s, early 40s. And I remember going, Kenny, how is this going to go away? I think of this, all my waking moments, and I'm so devastated and hurt by it. I cannot believe this happened. And I remember him, we were sitting in a car, and he looked at me, he goes, one day, hon, you're going to realize you went a whole hour and didn't think about it.
Right now, you're thinking about it every second.
Every moment, every second of every day. And he goes, and then you're going to go 6 hours and you're going to realize, wow, I just went a whole morning and I didn't think about it.
But that might be
2
months down the road.
It might be 2 months, 3 months. He goes, then you're going to go, wow, I didn't think of it all day long. And he goes,
that may be a year down the road.
He goes, but you're going to get there.
Right.
And I remember that spoke such hope to me that I would not be stuck in this place, in this hurt place for the rest of my life, because I felt like I could not get out of it.
Yeah.
And whatever brings you to a place of devastation and hurt and things done or happened to you that you did not have any part of.
Right.
A death of someone that you love dearly, or
these are the things that knock you to the ground.
And a health issue, devastating things. And to have someone in your corner continually speaking into your life, saying God is bigger than this, and He's going to see you through it, and I'm here with you.
Two's better than one, man.
I cannot even tell you the comfort it gave me, and the love for my husband to be patient with me, because I'm sure I wore him out talking about it. And I'm sure he just is probably in his mind, he's probably thinking, okay, can we get around a corner?
Yeah.
Why aren't you around a corner? I'm sure in his mind he thought that, but you know what? He never once was impatient with me. He always let me speak.
Now, let me back up.
Okay.
I may have, less the people listening think I'm some kind of saint. I may have thought those things.
Well, I'm sure you did think those things.
But again, there's this sense, this is what we're advocating here, gang, is that you realize right now today why you're in that person's life. You're there for that day that they trip and fall, or they are weak, or they get knocked to the ground. Because when Two's better than one because when they fall,
Right.
they have one there to
Right.
pick them up.
Well, excuse me, I
Go.
want to say something. This could happen in a layoff in somebody's job, especially the primary breadwinner. This would be devastating.
Yeah.
And for the other spouse to always speak faith, "No, we're going to be okay.
Yes.
We're going to be okay." Instead of you could turn around and go, "Well, how are we going to make it now?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to have to sell the house? Are we
Yep.
going to have to, when you're there, when you come into the situation that your spouse is down on the ground,
Right.
and
They've
you
fallen.
look at them, you're going, "Okay, I could do one or two things. I can kick them while they're down there, or I can help them to get
Right
back
on.
up." And they might not be able to get up immediately,
Right on.
but I can help them get up. First, they're on their knees, and then, they're on their elbows trying to get up, and I'm helping them. And
Yep.
I really felt like that you were that to me.
How great
Well, many times you've been that to me.
How great to think that we have that place in each other's
I
lives.
know, and we have that ability that God has put you in my life
Right.
for that, because He loves me.
Yep.
I mean, God can do that for me, and He was there with me the whole time. He never left me,
Right.
forsake me, abandoned me. I never felt like God didn't love me. I knew He allowed it,
Right.
and I accepted what He allowed. I
Right.
didn't have any distrust in Him ever. I was just so hurt.
Yeah.
And you were, to have somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why two's better than
it
one.
shows you look at that person and go, "Lord, thank you.
Yeah.
You saw this in it, you foreknew what was going to be happening,
Man.
and you brought a rescue to me
Yep.
through this person that you gave me." And it's a very comforting
awesome.
feeling. It is.
Listen to this sentence again. This passage, two's better than one because when one falls, there's a companion to pick them up. It speaks or reveals how we should operate when our spouse falls. That's what it's there for. We are to help them up. We don't abandon them, accuse them, humiliate them, criticize them. We don't judge or accuse them. We are not indifferent to them. We do not ignore or overlook them, but we devote our strengths, our resources, and our gifts and capacities to helping them get back up from their fall and get on their feet. Man, if you take that on,
Yep.
when you see your spouse fall, and they fall for many reasons. Sometimes
Right.
it's weakness. Sometimes they're just knocked down, and sometimes they just weren't paying attention and they trip.
And through the power of the Holy Spirit, you're able to do that for your spouse.
This is true.
Every time.
We've seen it over
We have
and over
seen
again.
it through the power of the Holy Spirit. It's not in your flesh that you can do these things.
True
It's
that.
you look at this person with different eyes. You look at him as God looks at him.
Yeah.
And you're his helper now in
Yep.
their life. It's who he
That's
brought
awesome.
to them
It's awesome.
for this day and this time. And it's really kind of cool.
It
to
is
think
great.
that we could be God's helper in someone's
Well, it's
life when
powerful.
they're down.
It's powerful
Because some people fall down and they have no one to help them up.
to help them up. Listen to this passage. We'll close with this. We're at the end of our time. This is from Romans 15, verse 1. Now we who are strong ought to bear the weaknesses of those who are without strength and not just please ourselves. Each of us is to please his neighbor for his good and to his edification. A couple verses down, the apostle prays, and this is what he prays. Now may the God who gives perseverance and encouragement grant you to be of the same mind with one another according to Jesus Christ. So the God who's given you perseverance and encouragement are to be that to your spouse, so that with one accord you may with one voice glorify the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, accept one another, just as Christ also accepted us to the glory of God.
Don't you?
I love that.
I love the Lord so much. I do. I love his word, and I love
So encouraging.
I just love how he's so practical, and he knows what we go through. He knows we're yet just sinful people that just need him in our lives, and then he's given us people around us
to help us when we fall.
Hands and his feet. And I love that I don't feel like I'm left here alone on this world trying to
all alone.
Get it right.
Yep.
I need help.
So take it to heart, gang. You can be that to one another, and we pray that you do.
And not just to your spouse, too.
And wherever you go.
Wherever you go.
Right. Wherever you're in community, that's what you can be to other people.
Yeah, I love that.
All right. Hey, God bless you guys. Thanks for being with us this episode. Can't wait till next time. See you later.
Bye-bye.